Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome to the start of a brand new campaign series here today on the channel. We're back on Hearts of Iron 4. We're going to be playing on the Man the Guns DLC and the Road to 56 mod as the Democratic United States. So guys, if you like the sound of that and want to ensure future and regular Hearts of Iron 4 content on the channel, feel free to leave the video a like, let me know in the comment section down below, and subscribe if you're new around here. It's been quite some time since I've done a Hearts of Iron 4 campaign, and there are still a lot of major factions I still haven't let's played on the channel, and primarily the United States. I love the World War II scenario, and I've never actually played as the Democratic United States. I've never done a let's play as them. So if you like the sound of that, support the series, and I'll do more Hearts of Iron 4 content on the channel. Had a nice sort of break from it, but I think it's time to get back onto it. Now, if this series does well, I will do future series. We could do a Monarchist United Kingdom campaign. We could play as Germany as well, and the Soviet Union. In my previous Hearts of Iron 4 series, I used to like playing as either modded countries, like Italy bringing back the Roman Empire, or countries that were kind of neutral in the war like Sweden, but can go down an alternative history and sort of change things up a bit. So I think we'll do some of the major factions if that's something you guys would like to see. I'll put in the description below as well the mod pack I'm going to be running for this series. I'm using Chaos AI, of course. So it is currently the 1st of January 1936, and we're going to be playing as the Democratic United States. We're going to be playing as Franklin D. Roosevelt. So, for this series, I would like to take Mexico out quite early. There's obviously going to be political instability, which has been added due to the Man the Guns DLC. If I could sort of conquer the Americas, that would be quite cool. I also want to be sort of an interventionalist and try and join foreign wars and try and conquer as much territory as I can. The Japanese, we could go to war with them early on. There is an event where they either strike Hawaii early, or we can sort of act upon them. If we could take Japan out before 1939, when Hitler invades Poland, that would be good. But really, it's going to be Axis and the Comintern. So it's going to be the Allies and the Comintern fighting the Axis. Okay then, well, let's go through some of our logistics and go through the United States campaign. So at the moment, we're currently 99% democratic laws and governments. We have disarmed nation, free trade, and undisturbed isolation. Okay. So at the moment, we currently have the London Naval Treaty, which gives us better quality ships. We are currently in the Great Depression, which we will need to remove, hopefully before we start going to war. And I do have a plan through my national focus to get rid of that. And Home of the Free, which gives us an ideology drift defense plus 20. Looking at our decisions in this new Man the Guns DLC, we do have to deal with the Senate support in Congress. So, if this is sort of a tip if you're playing your own United States campaign and want to play a campaign and play along with me, we need to constantly go with small lobbying effort and medium lobbying effort whenever we can. Also going down through some of the other congressional missions, granting statehood to Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico is definitely on my list. Pushing further down, naval treaties, I have to think about that. Political actions, giving refuge to German scientists and Italian scientists, that's definitely something we want to do at some point. And maybe if we do some foreign influence, say in the Philippines, and maybe guarantee the likes of maybe a Chinese country if the Japanese go to war with them. Also, maybe we've already got, as the United States, I do believe we are currently backing a lot of countries anyway. You look at this. The United States is guaranteeing the independence of other nations. Argentina, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Haiti. There's a lot of countries there, Paraguay as well. And we currently have the Philippines as my puppet. So we should be able to join in a lot of wars. I am using the Chaos AI mod, so a lot of the other countries will be able to sort of take the initiative and expand and conquer instead of sort of turtling and whatnot. Okay, so looking at my research, the best way to go down is, in my opinion, is go down industry and engineering first up. So let's do that. So let's get construction 1. Let's also go with production basic machine tools, and we'll go with electronic engineering for now. Well, that's going fine. I think we should go with Equipment and Weapons 1 as well. I don't think we're going to get war decked anytime soon, but it could be a potential option. Looking at our trade, we currently have 169 oil, mostly from Texas and the southern states. We've also got 39 aluminium. We also got -1 rubber. Trying to keep the ally rubber supply is definitely going to be one of our objectives in the South Pacific, helping out our Aussie boys and making sure British Malaya and the Dutch East Indies don't fall when World War II comes up is definitely going to be one of our main objectives, one of our imperatives. Okay, tungsten-wise, we're good on 33, and steel mills are on 44. We currently got -6 chromium as well. Okay, construction-wise, we want to start building some civilian factories. You really can go either way for this. You could start building military factories pretty early on. It depends if you want to sort of go communist or fascist. I'm going to start building my civilian factories in the Midwest of America. Obviously, historically, there's a lot of factories and stuff here. So hopefully once we get this done, we can get some military factories up there as well. So let's start off with a fair amount of civilian, and then we'll switch to military as we go along as well. Fuel silos, dockyards, we can leave that for now because there's going to be a lot of tech tree sort of stuff. Okay, infantry divisions wise as well. We currently have the 1st division here. It's only about 3 stacked. Artillery, engineer company. Want to get tanks at some point as well. I think for now, logistics, we want to try and stockpile a bit as the states and make sure all our boys are properly up and armoured. We're currently minus at the moment. Okay, looking at our production, we're currently just making the infantry equipment 1, just with the M1 Grand Rifle, giving our boys a grenade as well. So let's try and get that up nice and high along with our support equipment. We're going to need a lot of rifles in this war, and eventually I would like to start getting some tanks. So maybe getting some Great War tanks as well. Not too many because we haven't got any in operation. Actually, no, we're going to wait to get light tanks, I think. I would rather just wait. So get more fighters in. We'll leave our rifles there as well. Aircraft-wise, we've already got one lot of fighters, close air support, naval bombers, interwar bombers. We'll leave that for now. And Navy-wise as well, we need to fix that up at some point. Okay, before we dive into my national focus, let's deal with the forces on the mainland. So, currently in the homeland of the United States, we currently have 22 divisions. Let's potentially move them over to the west, to San Francisco, to be able to potentially push against the Japanese if we need to, or maybe down to Mexico. Okay, so let's bring in George Patton, 55th Regiment. I don't know. Let's bring in Dwight Eisenhower as well. Let's bring him in as well. Okay, so that leaves the other US forces. We've actually got one lot of light cavalry here, so let's get rid of you as well. I'd rather the support equipment. So, all of these other units are technically abroad. We've got one holding the Panama Canal. We've got a couple of units within the Philippines itself. And they're protecting my islands. Look, you know what? I'm actually quite okay with these being dotted around the Pacific and especially protecting my island chain. When we go to war with the Japanese eventually, they're going to be wanting to naval invade a lot of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift-click every single unit I can find and essentially make its own division. And I want to go with a competent general, but not so much someone we're going to get wasted. Let's go with Lucian Truscott, bring him in. I like to go with orange because I think of life vests and lifeguards, so I like to make orange my sort of amphibious defense. And that's 14 divisions tied up by our island territories. Okay, let's go with my navy now. So essentially what I want to try and do is I want to control drag and grab everyone here on the west coast of America. I want to redock them where? Los Angeles, LA, San Diego, or San Fran. Let's go with Los Angeles. Let's sort of mix things up. So let's right click there and we'll control click to rebase them there as well. Once everyone's here, that would be fantastic. And we're going to be able to rally up our navies. So, same with on the west coast here as well. Oh, that didn't work quite well. That's what I want. And we'll rebase them on Long Island. So we'll move you there as well. And we'll try and make sort of a west and east coast fleet if we can. Okay. Airbase wise as well, what are we sort of working with? We've got an airbase here on the border of Texas that only houses 600 planes. I think we should rebase the entire Air Force. Hopefully we get the RNG event that Amelia Earhart survives. Her being a commander of the Air Force would be really beneficial for me. So if I can get sort of everyone here to be rebased to Texas. Actually, I might actually leave the active fighters on the ships. I think that would be more beneficial for me. I've just fucked something here. I've accidentally misclicked and went night something. I'll fix that later. Alright, there we go. So, let's allow... Yeah, that was it. So, I've clicked all my air bases. I'm going to make sure they all actively do missions in day and night fighting as well. Okay, let's go into our national focus now. So, we want to try and get out of the Great Depression as quickly as possible. We're going to go with Continue the New Deal, which will... The policies of the New Deal have proven to work. We must not lose our way. It'll give us 150 political power. Once that has officially been completed, I want to go down to WP. So millions of people are still suffering unemployment resulting from the Great Depression. An agency to put these people to work on the public projects may not fully resolve the problem, but it's going to put the administration in the right direction. It will give us another 150 political power as well, and we'll be able to get congressional and Senate support eventually as well. Okay, well, I think I'm ready to unpause and continue. So looking at our oil reserves, we currently have 25 days. We currently have 205 factories. We have 255 manpower. I've also got a state integration mod. So when you conquer territories and whatnot, especially when we start sort of annexing and bringing Puerto Rico in, Alaska and Hawaii into statehood, we're going to be able to core those countries and territory properly and allow them to be added straight into our manpower, which I really quite like. So a senator from Nebraska offers support. It's a very underdeveloped region. Sure, let's allow Nebraska to influence the Congress. Alright, so we're slowly but surely now moving our men over. So representatives speak passionately in support of government. She is right, you know. So we're going to get some more representatives as well. Okay, insufficient resources, rubber, chromium. Okay, so we've only got 39 convoys, so let's try and get some rubber. So the Dutch East Indies, British Malaya, Brazil might be more of a guarantee getting rubber from them. Siam, Belgium, the British Raj, Liberia. I think negotiating with the Brazilians and getting some rubber from them is probably our best bet. Okay, and it was chromium as well. So where can we get chromium from? South Africa? Cuba? France? What's Cuba looking like in this time period? Are they... what exactly? Okay, so Cuba are 98% democratic. They're on our side. They've got a small sliver of communism, but we're going to be able to trade with them. So let's get some chromium from Cuba. They've got a hell of a lot of it as well. So let's try and get like 24, and we'll eventually get factories built to properly manage them. Okay, so let's start integrating the Panama Canal as well. Try and get some of those civilian pops to join the army. Okay, so we're slowly but surely moving our forces across the United States, mostly from the east. The New Deal is finished. The United Kingdom revisits colonial policy. Okay, only time will tell how that sort of happens. We might need to push against Mexico earlier on. So I would like to go to war with Mexico, eventually maybe Canada if we can at some point. The thing is with Canada, they're quite stable, unlike Mexico, that can really go either way. They're heavily communist, fascist, democratic, and they tend to have civil wars in the man the guns. So there might be an early war with Mexico, we'll just have to see. And hopefully with Japan as well. Okay, let's go with medium lobbying effort now that we've got some stability here already. So what else do we want to go with now? Let's grant statehood to Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. Try and bring those into the fold. And I would like to give refuge to German scientists eventually. Nation building in the Philippines. let's do that. Get that done out of the way, and we'll go back up here now. Okay, so now that we've gone with WP, where do I want to go down now? I think naturally going down with Agricultural Adjustment Act is probably not a bad idea. So this requires the support of the Senate to be 49. It's currently 48. So the thing is with the guns, as you're playing as the Democratic United States, you really have to have congressional support. You've got to constantly lobby for medium and small and get the Senate support up and the House support. Then you're able to get a lot of this tech tree stuff, because it sometimes doesn't tell you, if you're a little bit fresh, that you have to do this sort of stuff. Like, most of it's actually locked behind most of it. So so we'll go down there. So yeah, I haven't done WP yet. I thought I did. We want to get that before we can go down agricultural stuff. Okay, I reckon my navies are here now. They are too. So let's merge that up. So on the Western Naval Front, we currently have 15 battleships, 3 cruisers, 14 heavies, 11 lights, 72 destroyers, and submarines. Overall, our navy should be able to outmatch the Japanese quite easily. And what about on this western side? This is more so, eastern side rather. This is more so sort of submarines and stuff. Okay, so we want to get everyone here who has ships in Hawaii, the Philippines, Central America, and the East Coast. We want to move and ideally rendezvous you on the West Coast there, and these will be my navy stuff. So what I want to do now is go into production, and instead of constantly having, God, there's so many ships here. I feel like there's too many, and it sometimes bug a bit and they go away. So what we want to do is we want to try and, so we want to auto you to one of our ships. So battle force, so who's who? Battle force, destroyer squadron. So we'll go with like battle force, destroyer squadron, and we'll add it like this. It's a lot easier this way than automatically regrouping your ships. So if you can allow ships to be constructed then moved straight into the navy, it's far more beneficial. So let's quickly speed things up and do this. I don't know what causes that the AI makes so many of these when you start up the game, but they eventually start going down. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess these might be like slightly different versions of ships, but it shouldn't matter too much. Okay, we've got a free research slot now. Mechanical engineering's done. Let's go with research rate. It's always good trying to get ahead of other AI factions, and the quicker we can do it, the better. It's going to be interesting to see how this war sort of shapes up. We're going with historical AI focuses, but we are using chaos AI, so a lot of factions are more keen on conquering and annexing neighboring territories. Okay, we've got some more spare research slots now. Okay, so, industry-wise for the States, you can either go either down one. I prefer concentrated industry, so I think I want to go with that, and reinforcement rate for now is probably not a bad idea. Going for radio, that's a really nice little bonus there as well, because all these sort of smaller things eventually add up. Okay, we've got some world news. Second London Naval Treaty signed. This will safeguard peace better than any super battleship. Okay, so let's have a look at, nearly everyone's nearly rallied up here, which is good. So looking at my army-wise, the United States has 35 active divisions, 379 battalions. Looking at our navies now, they've actually properly rallied up. So we have 3 carriers, 15 destroyers, 15 heavies, 11 lights, 114 destroyers, and 72 submarinos. On the west coast, we have the larger of our 2 fleets, 167, more so due to the coast of Mexico here, and potentially wars with Japan in the Pacific. And on the east coast, we have 64 with Destroyer Squadron 12. Air-wise, at the moment, I've properly based up all my Air Force that aren't actively on carriers. So we currently have 355 fighters here. We can bring in some more, and we have 440 at the back. So let's maybe bring in a couple more because we can house them closer to Mexico. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have these guys actively go on everything and try and gain air superiority over Mexico, because I feel like they're going to be sort of the unstable first target for now, but it's really going to be a bit of a roll of the dice to see how everything shapes up. So let's go with now Convoy Escort, and we'll sit them there as well, and with you guys for now. Let's go with Convoy Escort. So in Man the Guns as well, we can actually deny and allow access for other naval powers. We also can build mines off our coast, which is definitely a potential option we can do in this series. Okay, so I've already noticed, I'm just sort of skipping ahead here now, I've already noticed that a lot of our oil is just getting spent for having these guys on escort. Look at this, 98, and we're just hammering through our fuel. It's just not cost effective for us to them to be on active escort. So I'm going to have to turn it off, because that just shows you how harsh it is. Wow, crikey. So we'll get our oil back on track. But yeah, we used a lot of oil just then. We do have 173 as well. We're even one of the more sort of oil proficient nations in the end. Okay, our Senate support is slowly going up, along with our House support. We're currently a little bit away from gaining statehood to Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. We want to go with small lobbying efforts when we can. Invest in the economy of Nebraska. An additional civilian factory will be constructed. Hopefully we can do that at some point as well. I'm also going to go down to give refuge to German scientists. So let's do that, because I eventually want to do that for the Italians as well to get that buff. Okay, we're slowly but surely progressing through the days and months. Now, it's going to be quite some time before we get a war, but I feel I might have to sort of chop and cut this campaign a bit, as naturally as a democratic nation, you do take quite some time to properly build up where we can. So we'll try to get some wars in today's episode. I'll try and fill you in on my decisions on rebuilding the states where I can. And yeah, okay, so we've had a leadership purge in the Soviet Union, and my agricultural adjustment has been complete as well. So where do we want to go down now? Exactly. Okay, what I think will help the nation out, help the United States, is going down Neutrality Act. So, it seems like an increasingly uncertain that war will break out in Europe. During the Great War, the American companies sold large quantities of weapons to the Allies, and believed that the American entry was mostly motivated by designers. Those pay for it. Right, so we want to sort of profit and get 200 political power there, so let's go down that. Okay, there's been a little bit of a respite in our research that we can't go further down into industry and engineering because we've maxed it out for the time period. What I could talk about now is what we want to eventually go to. So getting the carbines and the Thompsons is also good. Getting our proper engineering, recon, maintenance, and field hospitals once we're available as well. Getting better quality tanks as well is definitely on the agenda. Also getting the soft attack from artillery. But I want to talk about the doctrines here today. So we're already going down superior firepower, and I think we should continue that. So let's go with delay for now. Naval wise, we can get some buffs on our ships, but not just yet. Getting torpedoes is really good. Getting improved torpedoes. Looking at my fleet, I think we should continue down basic strike, and we'll go down with carrier supremacy, because that's going to massively help us out against the Japanese. Air Force doctrine-wise, I quite like battlefield support, but this time around, I think going with strategic bombers is going to be quite effective once we sort of start pushing against the likes of Mexico and Japan. Especially, we're going to be hitting them from this side before they sort of intervene on the Chinese. If I was to guarantee China, is that possible? Guarantee independence, 555? Crikey, because like if we guarantee the Chinese, we could be drawn in when they inevitably be attacked by the Japanese. I haven't been able to do any foreign influencing. Maybe when you're like a fascist or a communist country, you seem to have a lot more. Oh, democratic's on the rise there. How are the other countries going? Oh, communism's rising in France. And, oh, non-aligned, 26%. Is that on the rise? Will the UK go constitutional? Will they go sort of, not constitutional, monarchist? Huh. Only time will tell. Okay, now with Neutrality Act complete, let's go down with Arsenal of Democracy. Regardless of whether or not we choose to intervene directly in war, democratic nations must know that we will arm and support them. So that will give us naval experience, army and air force. It will also bring in military factories in the state of Idaho, Oklahoma, Maryland, and Virginia. So let's bring those in. Okay, so we have 211 political power now. I want to bring in some political advisors. I think going down Silent Workhorse is more beneficial. It gives us a political power gain of 15, and we can spend 150 now, and then we'll keep the other 62 to be able to bring in the last of those former scientists. We'll give refuge to the Italians, like the Germans. Oh, here we go. US Congress passes Neutrality Act. Our boys will not be sent into foreign wars. Okay, so we've got basic fire control going, artillery buff. We're also getting a land doctrine buff. So we've got a couple of options here. We could go down with strategic destruction, or we could maybe start producing some tanks. I think I want to do that. Let's get a light tank done, so we can actually get some proper tank divisions early on. Okay guys, welcome back. So we've got a interesting event here now. So we have the election of 1936. The day of the presidential election has arrived. So it's either between Franklin D. Roosevelt or it's against Alf Landon. So we've got a couple of options here. We can be democratic for the next 4 years, so we can get a stability increase by 10% and also a construction speed. I'm tempted to go with good old Frankie D. The Republicans, we must safeguard the ideas of the American system. So we get an oil standard in California, we get synthetic, industrial, political power, ideological. So we could go Republican or we could go with Frankie D. Like, even though that's some really good oil stuff, getting these bonuses for stability and construction speed is probably more beneficial for me, but it's debatable. Let's go with the Democrats for 4 more years, and the people have spoken. Also, looking at our national spirit, it's slowly changed as well. We've got the New Deal, my Neutrality Act's been done, and we've also gone away from the Great Depression, and we're currently in the slow recovery for now. The United States is coming back, bitches, slowly but surely. The Canadian flag's changed. I've just noticed that then. I see the maple leaf in the north. Okay, the Brits have gone and done something here. No way! What's happened here? Conservative Party, Democratic. Fallen government. Cabinet in crisis. Oh no! Is the United Kingdom breaking up? The French are currently mostly communist. Oh no! India's independent! Have they gone down a fully independent route? Yeah. The British Raj is no more. India is free and independent. Australia is in the Commonwealth of Nations. That didn't really even come up. The Allies have been disbanded, and the Commonwealth of Nations has arose. South Africa is now... okay, it's always been a country, South Africa. I'm just trying to think, was there any other sort of African or Italian breakups? But India's become independent. Okay, that's going to be interesting to see what happens over in the East. Okay, Arsenal of Democracy has been complete, and we've also gotten all those factory bonus. Now I want to swing all the way over to this side of the tech tree now, and I want to go with War Department, which will, in the age of industrial warfare, we must have an administration. So specifically what it does, it gains National Spirit War Department, and it will grant us a 25% increase into public, political power. I was about to say public order there. Oh my god, guys, there's been a massive significant war here, so we've integrated another state, but Pakistan has declared war upon India. What? So, with the breakup of the British Raj, due to the political instability going on in the United Kingdom, which looks like they might come back. Oh my god. It's given rise to a free and independent Pakistan. Oh my god. Which has declared war subsequently upon India now. So the Allies have been absolutely screwed so far in this series, but I guess that's sort of chaos AI for you. So can I even intervene into this? I don't particularly want to, but maybe I could. But India is at war with Pakistan in 1937. Global world tension is increasing now as well with the remilitarization of the Rhineland. My Senate support and House support's going up as well. Oh, with the Treaty of Delhi, that was a short and quick war. India has signed a white peace with Pakistan. Wowee. Okay. Yeah. So they've given their autonomy. A white peace. They're probably both going to go democratic, but I don't like how the Allies are sort of weakening each other in the end. Okay, finally we finished the construction of the light tank. So we're going to be able to allocate some military factories to that. And probably going with the M Stewart as well, straight on after. Getting better quality tanks is a must. I want to go down with fair labour standards, but we don't meet the requirements just yet. Maybe going down scientific research development for now. Oh yeah, here we go. King Edward empowers King's Party. A step into the past. Yeah, so that's what's happened. King Edward has risen to the throne of the UK. That's not good, especially when your major ally wants to break apart. It'd be hilarious if the Kaiser came back in Germany, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So it looks like most of the Commonwealth is sort of breaking up a bit here. So the Allies has been changed to the Commonwealth of Nations. Oh, we've had another war outbreak, and it's Mexico. The Mexican Junta has declared war upon Mexico. So what's happened here? So the Mexico we're guaranteeing has been, oh my god, a fascist coup has broken out. Okay, so we're going to have to massively act upon this. We're going to send our army to the border with Mexico. Potentially in the north first. If we can somehow intervene into this war while they're weak, because we can't allow a politically unstable Mexico. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go out from this. So, is there anything I can do here now? I can't join the war. We must be faction members. Guarantee independence. The independence of Mexico is guaranteed by the United States. How have we not had an event to defend it? But regardless, my men are rushing to the border here now. So, let's have a look. Mexico has somewhere between 21 to 25 divisions, and they have 13 to 18. They have 56 manpower, the fascists, to 100k with the democratic defenders. The war is going 5% in favour of the defenders. So, it's going to be interesting to see how things sort of shape up in this war. More world news now. Poland seeks Baltic cooperation. The Little Entente, a sign of rising European tensions. So, Mismors has been made, and also the French Entente alliance. Between whom? No one. Okay, so with the breakup of the Allies now, and the Commonwealth... so the Commonwealth nations are in their own pact. Crikey. So there's going to be a lot of factions in this. So the Commonwealth nations have banded together, while France has made its own entente with its puppets. And the United Kingdom is currently neutral under King George. And Mesmors has been made by Poland. This is going to be a wacky save series. The Hindenburg disaster has happened as well. Oh, the humanity. Amelia Earhart's event must be coming up soon as well. Okay, we can actually go down the Fair Labour Standards Act as well. And we've also gained another free research slot. Let's go with construction 2. The Spanish Civil War is now erupted as well between a nationalist fascist Spain and a communist Republican. Only time will tell how that goes. So the Mexican Civil War is currently still going on. And yeah, I can't seem to influence. Is there anything I can actually do to get in here? We could go war plans. Intervention in the Americas. War plan green. Attack bonus defense. That means we could go to war with Mexico a lot earlier on. But we'll just have to see. I might stop the fair labor standard for now. Actually, I'll just wait 70 days. I'll wait for Rico because there was specific objectives for us to hit to be able to do that. So I don't want to like stuff it up somehow. But we'll leave it at that. My manpower shot up as well. It's currently 387. Logistics-wise, we're still negative on rifles, but they're coming in as well. We've also got light tanks being constructed. I might be able to make a light tank division. Yeah, we've already got some. So, if I could make that purely light tanks, that would be ideal. It costs 15. That's the problem with it. So, maybe going with Engineer Company and Recon and Artillery for now will work just fine. But that's a small tank division. Hey, we got the event. Amelia Earhart circumnavigates the globe. What an achievement. She wasn't abducted by aliens. Like in Star Trek. Voyager or whatever. Good. She's going to be fighting an Air Force for now. She's quite good. Right, how's this Mexican war going on? It's pretty neck and neck. 4-4. It really can go either way. Hopefully I can intervene at some point, but yeah, it doesn't look like I can for now. Okay, sweet. Fair labor standards has been complete, but for now I'm going to go down to war plan divisions because I want to be able to get those buffs against Mexico. Because it looks likely now that civil war's now happened, war with the United States and the unstable Mexican regime could be an issue. Oh, good. Those tanks are being researched, so we can get M3 Stuarts now being constructed. Fantastic. Oh my god, India, man, you're killing me. Bangladesh has declared war upon Pakistan. Bermuda? What is all this? The Raj is just broken up. Oh my god, all these little wars are going to cause so many issues. Maybe we need to bring back and get rid of this monarchy stuff, because being neutral doesn't help anyone. It does cost a bit, but we might need to start influencing Great Britain and bringing back the United Kingdom. Okay, war plan divisions has been done, along with construction 2. Let's go with intervention in the Americas as well. At the moment, we currently have full Senate and House support by 1937, which is really beneficial to us. Should I revoke guarantee? No, not just yet. Because the war's still going on here. The American boys are on the border, ready to go if need be. Okay, I've just been saving up my political power to 100 now, because I want to try and get those Italian scientists in. Okay, intervention in the Americas has now been complete. We will go with war plan green. War with Mexico in constant state of instability following the revolution. We must prepare to intervene and just So unlocks execute war plan green. We want to get that done. So if we need to go to war for either side, and hitting them now where they're quite weak is not a bad idea. Also, the Commonwealth of Nations. This is something we could talk about as well, because this is an independent and weak Canada now. So they've got the back of the Australians, the Kiwis, and the South Africans, which is what they're going communist, but we might be able to go to war with Canada earlier on in this time period. I'm actually playing on Chaos AI, haven't tweaked any of the factions, so it's kind of cool that Britain's been broken up, and we might be sort of the new head of the Allies. Oh! The Great East Asian Cooperation Sphere has come up as well. Interesting. Japan has puppeted Manchukuo. Will they drift away from the Axis? We currently have the full House of the Senate and House and the Senate. which is perfect. Oh, here we go. Japan abandons naval treaty. Hirohito today announced that Japan, Domo arigato, Mr. Abato, will no longer consider himself bound by the treaty. We should revise our own participation in the treaty. Italy bans it as well. Okay. Oh, Marco Polo Bridge incident as well. And there's some more political disruption. War Plan Green has been finished as well, so this will give us some really good give us some really good buffs against the Mexicans if we need to, because we legally still can't war deck them, but maybe when that war finishes up we'll be able to see. The Bangladeshi-Pakistani war still going on, and so is the Spanish. Looks like the fascists going to win. Okay, so we've gone down War Plan Green. What I want to probably go some more war-y sort of stuff this side of the tree. Where should I go? I think we should go with Air War Plans. Air War Plans Division to make the right priorities in aviation. Yep, let's do that, because we're actually already slowly... I'm getting more fighters in. And we're also actually sort of naturally going down sort of home defense sort of stuff anyway. Still continuing to build up the nation. Oh, we've actually had a massive world news event. The Anschluss of Austria, 32%. The Germans are continuing to expand. So, in this Mexican war, 32k fascists have died to the 22 democratic. And it still doesn't seem to have a end in sight. Whoa, what? Poland declared war upon Estonia? Weren't they in Mesmors? Wasn't that what was going on? What the fuck? Oh, okay, right. So Lithuania, Latvia, but Estonia declined. Ugh, there's been some wacky wars in this. Okay, we got another spare national focus. Let's go down with Scientific Haven, which will give us another additional research slot. It's the 30th of April, 1938. Haven't had a war just yet. Our economy is getting stable. The House is currently in support. And we are looking towards a war with Mexico, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But a lot of other countries are. Pakistan and Bangladesh have signed a white peace. Same with Estonia and Latvia. Okay. House Committee supports presidential policy. As they will, 55% towards government. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, so we can actually go into this Naval Treaties debacle. So with the Japanese and Italians leaving, we can withdraw from the Naval Treaties. Now, what this basically does, it allows to be sort of a status quo with ships and adds a limit to each faction. And the Japanese and the Italians have actually fucked off because of it. So we've got the London Naval Treaties. So carrier, max, cost, cruiser, and heavy ships. So it puts a cost on stuff. So if we withdraw from the naval agreement, so do the French and Great Britain. And since Great Britain sort of pissed me off lately, and they've gone full-blown non-aligned now. Oh my god, I didn't even see that. And have really weakened our position and potentially the Allies. We might actually be able to, we might actually just join the French Entente alliance, and then maybe go to war with the Commonwealth of Nations or something. We'll just sort of have to see. But I'm actually going to withdraw from the naval agreement now, and let's push that through. Oh, the Germans have declared war upon Czechoslovakia. Oh my god, okay. What's to go with them? Democratic. Are they going to join anyone? Or are they going to be taken out so quickly? Yeah, looks like they are. The Germans are blitzkrieging through Czechoslovakia now. So war has been declared in 1938 by the Germans. Okay, now we've gone down Scientific Haven. We're actually one away from Manhattan Project. We'll go with federal housing for now. Oh, here we go. Senate committee investigates shipping building in New York. Yes, it's a critical weakness. We want to try and increase it if we can. And that's it. The Germans have capitulated Czechoslovakia and seized 66,000 rifles. And they've taken the entirety of it. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of happens next. Yeah, I want to try and bring Britain back, but I don't know if it's sort of likely. Oh my god. Great Britain issues stern warning. I did not foresee this as a potential possibility in the series. Okay, the British ambassador to our country has today called upon Franklin D. Roosevelt to deliver a note from his government. They are watching our continued naval expansion with grave concern. They're not giving a shit about the Japanese or the Italians, and now consider our navy as a destabilizing factor in the region. Should we continue our current program of naval expansion? Oh no, the note continues, the British government will be forced to consider all possibilities. We would rather not find out those measures, so we will stop it, or we get a transparent buffer. Gets an event the United States rejects warning, gains puppet focus. War goal against the United States. So I didn't realise that they get so pissed off about withdrawing from that, to be honest, but I'm kind of okay with it, because in this alternative timeline, it's not the likes of Winston Churchill or Neville Chamberlain giving me those threats, which I would probably be more in line to negotiate with. But now with sickly King George, or King Edward at the helm rather, I'm going to do this. Maybe having a war with Great Britain might be in our best interest. Maybe we need to be the defending and sort of stability in the region here against Nazi Germany. Maybe that's where we need to go down in this democratic series. Get revenge from the Revolutionary War. Yes, let's go with a transparent buffer. I've been really wanting to go for this for a while as well. Superior Firepower Expert, which gives us army experience gain, superior firepower doctrine as well. So it's currently the 19th of January 1939, and still not too much is going on just yet. Oh, here we go. We got some more further wars. The Kingdom of Hungary has joined the Axis. Japan has declared war upon China as well. So they've actually left it a bit late, in my opinion. They should have been at war with them quite a long time ago, but she's now happened. I wonder if that will change things up. The Second Vienna Award. I don't think... No, it's changed too much overall. Great Britain still has that war deck with me, so it'll be interesting to see if they go down that. Oh, there's been some wars in China. So China United Front. Okay, so it looks like China's united. Okay, that's good. It's always good when they can form that, because they do tend to last longer against the Japanese. Oh, here we go. So this is all kicking off now. The Japanese and the Chinese war. So USS Panay sunk in China. The US gunboat came under fire earlier today. Struck with 2 bombs, she sank later that day. 3 US citizens killed and many more wounded. Survivors were picked up by American and British gunboats in the area. Japan has been quick to claim it was an accident and offered an apology, but some think that the attack was deliberate, and a number of advisors are calling for war. However, public support for war remains low, and any declaration is likely to be deeply divisive. How should we respond? So, we've got a couple of options here. It's the 1st of May 1939, so we can withdraw our forces from China, we can demand compensation, which I think is what happened in real life, or we can go to war, which I think we nearly are ready though. The thing is, right, war with Japan, we gain war debt claims, we lose only 10 base war support, we're at 24, we were nearly on the way of getting sort of better quality war support stuff anyway, we lose 30% stability, we're currently at 100, and we can go to war. We can have a war, because we haven't had one just yet. At the moment, my house support has massively gone down, so that could be a potential problem. It doesn't look likely that we're going to go to war with Mexico now for quite some time, and Great Britain doesn't seem to be going to war against us. I think we should go and strike and take Japan. I think we should go to war with them. War with the US and Japan. Tensions running high between the United States and Japan. Remember the Panay. The Panay incident. Does Japan still have no limits? A message from Great Britain. They've... Oh no! Great Britain's declared war upon us. And now we have a war deck with the Japanese. The United States is at war with Great Britain. They war decked us because we were going to go to war with the Japanese. Oh my god. Do we go east? Or do we go west? Oh no. Okay guys, well, on that note, I think I sort of have to end it on that cliffhanger. It's the 1st of March, 1939. The United States is officially at war with Great Britain under the command of King Edward. Here's the war here now, the British-American War, the Spanish Civil War still going on, Manchukuo and China and Mexico as well. At the moment, we only can bring in the Philippines along with British Malaya. So this is what the war currently looks like. So we do border with some provinces here, but the major problem is actually getting to Great Britain itself. If we could sort of beeline there as quickly as possible, that would be our best bet, but trying to like navally invade over there is going to be quite difficult, to say the least. Also, okay, I thought they would have had more. They do, they've got Hong Kong there. Okay, I was curious to see if we call in the Philippines, will there be any sort of repercussions? I do currently have a war deck against the Japanese, but I don't think I'm going to use it just yet. I think I need to deal with Great Britain for now. So at the moment, we've still got Franklin D. Roosevelt as our president. We're 99% Democratic. We don't currently have House support, which we need to get back. Research-wise, we're doing alright. We've got M1 Thompsons coming eventually as well. My trade is quite stable, along with my construction. We currently have 173 factories. Production-wise is fantastic as well. I haven't actually even been recruiting any divisions, because I just really want to sort of stockpile my rifles and maybe send them away. I'm going to have to go into mass construction. Now, we currently have 120,000 rifles in balance, and then we currently have 45k stored. We've got plenty of support equipment, light tanks and stuff, so we will be going to war with the United Kingdom in the next episode, or rather, Great Britain. To win this war, all we need to do is I believe, just to take out Great Britain. Oh, British Malaya is not even in it. So, it's the second British-American War, technically, I guess. So, we have currently 366k manpower fielded, while they do outnumber us with 720k. So, we'll start going towards the war with Britain in the next episode. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you would like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Highly recommend Twitter. Every single time I post a video, a tweet goes out. It's much more reliable than the YouTube sub box. These days, to get all the notifications for the channel, you have to click the bell, of course, to join the notifications squad. I do enjoy reading those comments. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.